Welcome back. We're going to call this the Miggy and Mar Show for now. That's Miggy over there. I'm Mar. So it's the Miggy and Mar Show. We are in our pilot episode. This is our first time. We're kind of just trying to see what happens. I have a few other podcasts. I think Miggy's been on quite a few. I actually watched one of his live streams last week or 2 weeks ago. Super dope, where he created an NFT on camera with an artist, like doing it in person too. So what we're going to talk a bit about today, something that I've been kind of getting my feet wet a little bit for the last couple of weeks, but I'm pretty sure Miggy has been dove in a while ago, and that's really NFTs, but more specifically like the NFT games and play to earn. So I have 2 or 3 scholars. I have 2 scholars working on my 3rd scholar for a game called Axie Infinity. And then I just got my first Zed horse to start racing Zeds. And that's kind of my experience so far. Been awesome. I've made money, which is wild. And yeah, I like it. So what's your experience, Miggy, or what do you think about crypto games and all that?
Man, no, I think that's a great start for sure. I mean, people who out there who know about Axie Infinity know that currently it's like ranked like the #1 play to earn game, which to be under the play to earn umbrella requires a Triforce. We definitely want a few things that we want to get out of these games, and utility and being able to invest minimally and earn is a big thing. So Axie Infinity is one of the games that my team is currently playing. What I'm playing as part of our team is Splinterlands and Blankos. I haven't been playing Blankos too much, but it's definitely moving up on the ranks. It's definitely a great way to earn while you're playing, and it's a lot of fun.
What's that one called? Blankos?
Blankos Block Party.
Okay, I haven't heard about that one. I gotta check it out.
So much fun. It's a first person. You get a little guy. You get to go do stuff like missions and have competition. So it's a lot of fun. It's a little bit more interactive than most of the games.
That's awesome. And then Splinterlands is one I've definitely heard of. I think that's probably going to be the next game I try and jump into. That one seems to be pretty profitable and popular as well, right?
Yeah, that one's again moving up the ranks. It's definitely, I think, within the top 3 of the top play to earn games. It's a trading game, battling card game. They're starting to add a little bit more layers to it, but their token just got released on Binance, which is the SPS.
Yeah, that's
it's awesome, man. Yeah, they give you opportunity to stake your coin. You earn depending on the power of your deck and the cards that you have, and it's turning out to be a really good way to earn some income with the minimal investment as well.
That's awesome. So I got a couple questions. I'm gonna probably say both of them. We'll see which one you answer first. It's whatever. But one, when you say minimal investment, like about how much is that, would you typically say? And then other question, if you want to keep it going, is how did you kind of get into all of this? And I'll explain how I got into it a bit after that.
So for the minimum investment for Splinterlands, I think it's about 30. I can't remember. It costs about $35, I think, because to get started in the game, you have to buy a spell book. Once you buy the spell book, then you're able to battle and use your cards. And I believe you even get started off with like a starting deck, which you don't own the cards, but you get to use them to battle. And then as you progress and you do the quest, you can earn other cards. You earn what's called Dark Energy Crystal and also SPS and their other like in-game coin. And with those, you can upgrade and buy more cards and do stuff like that. You could even rent out other people's cards or rent out your cards if you have really good ones that you're not using. You can rent them out to others to use. But what got me started was when I first got involved with NFTs, there was a game called Our Planet, which was a pretty big one at the time. It's still being developed, but Our Planet attracted me to the space because they gave you the ability to stake your NFTs in their game, and they rewarded you with their in-game currency. So they were one of the first to create like a really big DeFi aspect to it, to where you create passive income just by having NFTs of their choosing, and then you stake them in the game and they rewarded you with their coin, which their coin's called Ether, AETHER, and that coin is tradable to wax. So
wow,
it was a great opportunity that people were really pulling in some serious income, man.
Wow. When did you get in that?
That was probably back in February or March.
Nice.
Like March is when I first got started into the NFTs, and that game was like one of the first ones. That and Splinterlands, one of the first NFTs that I got, one of the first things that I got involved.
That's
when I found out about NFTs, I found out that they had games. So I started, exploring that. And the passive income, man, was definitely attractive to me at first, but I like actually playing the game too. So that's when I
yeah,
started to move on.
that's the thing. So the way I got involved, first, real quick, actually, how many people are on your team?
Right now, I believe we have a team of about 7 people, including myself, and we all are interactive with the games we play, and we have a play to earn team,
That's all
which we're going to be creating content for as well to teach others about these games and how to play them and how to get invested with either no investment or very minimal investment.
right. I like that. So the way I kind of got involved or started, I'd actually have to give you some props because you posting about it all the time definitely got me a little bit intrigued. Seeing Ken Bozak talk about it or Splinterlands and stuff, seeing people just show this passive income, I was like a little bit interested. But basically, the guy who's gonna make the intro for this podcast and outro, do like minor editing. I have a Filipino virtual assistant, which is
Awesome.
something I think is awesome. It's just a great way to get work done for a lot cheaper than in America with just as good quality, and giving someone in another country just an opportunity. So
Yeah.
he was editing videos for me for a while, and then basically kept on saying Axie Infinity, Axie Infinity, Axie Infinity. You gotta watch. You gotta check out Axie Infinity. And I was like, okay, I'm a
Oh,
little
you froze up
busy.
a little bit.
So, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. So my Filipino virtual assistant kept on saying Axie Infinity, that he wanted me to check it out. So I was a little hesitant, wasn't doing much. And then I started seeing like some crypto influencers started talking about it. And I was like, what is this Axie Infinity? Turns out, pretty interesting fact. So in Philippines, a lot of people work in Hong Kong, similar to how Mexicans work in America,
Mhm.
and they send their money home because it gets a lot more for like their family. So Filipinos go to Hong Kong, send money back to Philippines, usually does really well for them. In August, there is more money made by Axie Infinity than in Hong Kong going back to Philippines, which is just like
Wow.
mind blowing to me. But eventually I was like, all right, let's do this. Let's do Axie Infinity. I'm convinced enough. So we bought our first 3 Axies. You need 3 Axies to get started. It wasn't really a small investment. We spent about
Right.
$1,000, which definitely was tough to do, to spend money
Yeah.
on a game that looks like Pokemon. But
Right.
we made our money back. I think in like 2 months, maybe.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
where I'm getting passive income, $10 to $20 a day, and he's getting an opportunity to make $10 to $20 a day, which is more than most Filipinos make.
Yeah.
So that kind of convinced me. And then I basically saw you talking about your play to earn team. And when I heard team or I saw team, I was like, why don't we kind of try and grow this a little bit if it's working? So we got 3 more, you call them scholars in Axie Infinity, people who kind of
Mhm.
you manage. And right now we have 3 scholars who are on our team and making money every day. The payout isn't as good as it used to be, but
Right.
still just passive income, which is pretty cool. Then started exploring more and saw Zed Run, which is about horses, and was like, you
Mhm.
know what, I want to do some horse racing. That's pretty cool. Um, I haven't figured out if there's a way to get like a scholar under there where I don't have to play. But similar to what you said, it's kind of fun to just like play these games. Like
Yeah.
you just don't think for a little bit, you click some buttons, and it's kind of fun. So it's not worth it hourly wage wise doing it that way, but to make
Mhm.
a few dollars just playing a game is pretty cool.
Oh, absolutely. The potential is huge, man. Like I said, most people who do play video games spend hours and hours playing games where you don't get anything out of it besides, you get to have fun. You get to
Yeah,
spend money, like, Fortnite, you get to buy the skins, you get to buy the stuff, and you get to upgrade your characters, but you don't get anything. So like for people who are that dedicated when they play these games, like you said, they're actually creating a passive income, and they're generating something monetarily, and the more time they spend in the games, the more they get to earn. So like it's just a cool concept, to play to earn, that instead of paying to play these games, you're playing and you're earning. So even if, like you're saying, even if it's just a little bit, like anything, getting $1 a day playing a game, like, could you imagine, like
Yeah.
that's an income, and for some people that's a big deal, even if it is, like I said, $30 a month.
Right.
That's the idea, is that we want to help teach this game to kids who are part of low income families, low
Right.
income housing, and that way they can help supply incomes for their families, their parents, to help them buy groceries and shit like that.
Definitely. I mean, in a third world country, $1 a day is enough. Like that's a lot. So
Yeah,
um,
massive.
yeah. So for like most of the world, that's actually probably not bad at all. Um,
Absolutely.
I guess similar to how I felt at first, although I was a little bit more understanding because I've been into crypto for a while and I know some things seem weird, but they just work. There's probably a lot of people, or there are a lot of people, my friends ask me all the time, like, how does this work? There's no way it's going to last. Where's the money like coming from a little bit?
Yeah.
And they're all just skeptical. So I personally, I don't think, for example, Axie Infinity has lowered their payouts. I feel like payouts will probably lower for some games over
Hmm.
time, just because you can't have such high payouts for everyone for that long. But
Oh,
I kind
absolutely.
of feel, and maybe this is a little bit just trying to be optimistic. I feel like there's always gonna be, or not always, but there's gonna be a new game every month or two that
Oh
becomes
yeah.
like a hot game, and you
Yeah.
kind of probably just have to get onto the hot game in the first month or two, and then
Yep.
as long as you're there, probably let's say for half a year, then it'll probably not be as worth it to play. But there's always gonna be new ones popping out that'll be worth it. You kind of just have to keep on it. What's
Absolutely.
what's your outlook? Do you think similarly to that, or do you think like Axie Infinity will still be around in 5 years, paying me $10 a day?
I think you're right. I think the earning potential for games that are already out may decrease a little bit, just because, the nature of how it works is that they create a coin, and so most of their coins have to have some type of market cap. But the market caps for a lot of these are really high, so
Hmm.
it may be a while before we see, some of the payouts decrease. But I think what that's gonna cause is that you're gonna have to play more. So I think you're right, though. There are a ton of games coming out even now, and a lot of these games are still only in their early development. They're in the alpha and beta stages. So some of these games that we're playing and earning on, they're still not even fully developed yet. And when you compare that to the amount of games that are out currently, with, like, you're talking about Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation, I mean, huge collection of games. So I mean, we definitely have a very long and bright future with blockchain gaming, is because it's just now getting started. And so if you compare that, like I said, to normal games, I mean, damn, man, if we had just as many play to earn games as we did normal games, like there would be so much out there that you could potentially earn income from. So
Yeah.
that's the goal. And I think the payouts, yeah, man, they may decrease for certain games over time, as more users are added. But I think with the amount of games that are going to be coming out, and just that potential that every game we used to play before can turn into a play to earn game. So
But
Fortnite can turn into one of these games, Call
that's
of
what I was
Duty,
gonna
all
ask.
these games.
You think a lot of regular games are gonna start coming up with these models to
Oh, absolutely.
incorporate?
Either they will, or they'll find a way to bridge, because that's where the space is going to be directed to. Like, esports is already blowing up. And
Real
so
quick,
block
can you
yeah.
explain what Ebridge is, just in case some listeners don't know, or what bridges? I mean,
Um so for the bridge over would just be, there's different ways. One way in particular, there's a brand called Chain Games, who they created their own token and their own platform, and they made it to where other games who weren't necessarily blockchain games could be used on their platform, and you could earn their coin for
hmm,
playing on their platform. But there's other ways, that these games could actually become blockchain games, like the Uplift game that we play. It's a part of a Minecraft server. So they've
hmm,
taken something that was already non-blockchain game, and they've added a layer to it to make it a blockchain game. So
got it.
those are just a couple examples of like how they could bridge over. But I mean, who knows? We may see full on that these games may just, recreate themselves to be fully automated in the blockchain space, because a lot of them are set up to do that. It just
Right.
takes a little bit of adjustment. But I think we'll see a lot of games coming out, man, for sure.
Definitely. And what were you saying about the esports? Sorry about that.
Oh, I was saying that, esports right now is huge, and especially during the pandemic, we saw a huge rise in esports participation, not just with the people who play, but with the people who watch. We've seen crowds grow and viewers and audiences grow. So this space has already starting to blow up, and now couple that with the blockchain earning potential. My team and myself were personally involved in a lot of this space because we do operate out of the largest esports stadium on the planet in Arlington, Texas. It's the largest dedicated to the space. And so we see a lot of this happening that we've seen an exchange. They've basically sponsored an esports team. We've seen other esports teams trying to get involved. We've seen other platforms trying to create esports like competitions. And so that's basically what we're doing. We're taking what is already in esports and we're making that connection with the blockchain world. And that's going to happen at our blockchain gaming festival in December. And that's going to be like the start where we can kind of take those two worlds, those two concepts, and put them in one. So esports is just, is just gaming, is just, I guess electronic sports, it's just people get to play in tournament style settings, where it's like going to a football game, but instead of seeing people bash each other, you're watching people play Smash Brothers, or like Call of Duty and stuff. And so we're going to take blockchain games and do that, create competitions, create teams, focus on certain games to play, create all this competitive nature, but we're going to stream it, have audiences, and just take the esports world and apply it to that.
That's awesome. So that's December 20th, you said, in Arlington?
December 3rd through the 5th is going to be our actual festival. Yeah, and we're going to be, like I said, that's going to be one of the first things that happens to kind of bring the two worlds together.
That's awesome. I wish it was like a week or two later. I feel like I have my last week of the semester teaching around then. But I'm planning on driving to Texas right when the semester ends, where that would be perfect. But I'll be watching, I'll be streaming it.
Yeah, we'll be available in VR too. We're going to make it possible for everybody to participate either in person or online. So that's one big thing is, also bringing in those two ideas as well, in-person events and the virtual worlds, because a lot of those things that are happening are virtual. So we're trying to bring back in-person things too.
Yeah, no, and I feel like that's like the best way to do it, because unfortunately it seems like we might be forced back inside in a little bit, and that would suck, where I feel like a lot of people are trying to go all back into in person, which is dope, but it's nice to have that other option of being able to see from home, just in case
Absolutely.
go bad again, or some people might be scared or whatever it might be.
Yeah, for whatever reason that some people can't make it or don't want to make it, having that virtual option is always awesome. And with the nature of what we're doing, like it's very easy and seamless to integrate that world. So like I love this. Like that's why esports and blockchain game are going to be huge, because like we don't have to have physical venues. It's nice to do it, and luckily we have a very beautiful one, but we could stream all that inside our facility online.
Well, so pretty soon I feel like the online facilities are gonna look just like the in-person facilities, with all of the like development going on in the metaverse, which I'm super excited for. And I feel like that's different than these NFT games, but at the same time it's kind of all in the same like trend.
Absolutely. I mean, the thing about NFTs is that it really creates another layer to just basically every system that you can apply it to, whether it's games or business or even just life. Like there's a lot of aspects that this creates another layer, and it just makes it to where we can do these things ourselves. We don't have to rely on all these big companies to come out with this stuff. We can just grab a few people, gather them together, and make these things work for us. So it's pretty awesome, man. I think you're right. We'll definitely see more of it, and it's going to be great to introduce this to the stadium for sure.
Yep, and pretty awesome too. It seems like you are gonna be one of the like top people in the industry. I feel like just because we're so early, even if you don't do too much, you're still gonna be just like a top influencer, a top dog, because it's so early. And I feel like a lot of people are looking at us like, what are they doing? In 5 years, they're all going to be doing the same thing.
100%.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. But I think that about wraps up time for me. I had an awesome time for the first pilot episode. Hopefully
man.
you're down to do this again, because I definitely am. I learned a lot from you talking. And I'm sure anyone who listens, usually there's not too many listeners in the beginning, but we'll get more and more over time. I'm sure the listeners learned some stuff too. So appreciate that as always. Any last words, Miggy?
No, man, thank you so much. I appreciate this. I love, the opportunity to get to talk about, all these different things, because that's one of the biggest issues is that, we see a lot of it happening on our end, but it's not really crossing over into the other regular world, I guess, because
Yeah,
there isn't enough, talking about it, so like you said, a lot of people don't actually even know because they don't get to hear about it. So I love these opportunities to talk about things like that, just to introduce people to it. And I definitely look forward, to bringing more content. And in December, man, like I said, that's going to change a lot of things. So stay tuned, you guys. It's going to be awesome.
exactly. Awesome. Well, thanks again, brother. I'll see you hopefully later today in real person. See, we're
Yeah.
doing the virtual hybrid thing also, but I'll see you in person. And everyone who's listening, my mom probably, thank you, love you. I'll see you guys soon.